and welcome to my channel. Happy holidays! My name is Rose Writes and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fan fiction in an audiobook format. Yes, I am back after what feels like way too long. So if you like what I do here, please like and subscribe for more fan fiction. Huge shout out to Dory Sketches for letting me use their amazing artwork in my thumbnail. She's an amazing artist and illustrator. This story was actually inspired by one of her comics, so check it out. Her socials will be linked below. Without further ado, please enjoy Santa Cat. Cat Noir landed with a subtle thump on Marinette's balcony that mimicked the thumping of his own heart. He perched on the chilly railing, adjusting his Santa cap. He looked just like jolly old Saint Nick, complete with coat, boots, and a sack that he had worked on with Marinette. She had been teaching him to sew by hand, as well as operate a sewing machine, which he hadn't gotten the hang of yet. Marinette didn't know it yet, but he had a special plan in mind for these new skills. A few minor hand injuries later, and Cat had made a Christmas gift for Marinette, her very own Cat Noir plushie. She'd love it, right? It may not look the prettiest, but he tried at least. It's the thought that counts. Usually, a Santa sack was plump, full of gifts for the good boys and girls of the world, but his was rather lacking, having only one gift inside. He took it out to look at the lonely present, a bow around his mini-me's waist with a tag on it that read, "To Marinette, from your kitty." He'd been working up the courage to tell Marinette how he felt, that he loved her and he had for a while. Marinette made every day feel like Christmas just by being near her. He cherished every moment with her, especially their new tradition of spending most nights watching Disney movies with a hot cup of cocoa with a dash of cinnamon. Cat had procrastinated long enough. Humming his own rendition of Santa Cat is Coming to Town, he slipped off the railing, still holding the plush. Cat opened the trapdoor that led to Marinette's bedroom, wiggled a gloved hand through the opening, and dropped the gift on her bed, closing the door so carefully that it didn't even make a sound. Despite the late hour, Marinette stayed wide awake, hard at work. By now it must have been after midnight, which meant it was officially Christmas Day. But she still had a lot to do. Sweaters to make and the like. She rubbed her eyes when she saw something fall into her room. Marinette hesitantly left her chair to reach up and grab it, and when she did, she smiled. A Cat Noir plushie. So cute! She looked at the handmade gift from each angle. Without even reading the card, she knew it was the craftsmanship of her partner. He made this just for her. Her heart swelled with appreciation and love for her partner. No one had ever taken the time to create something for her because she did all of the sewing, painting, and everything else. Marinette clutched Minnie Cat tightly to her chest as she eased herself up onto the roof to find Santa Cat standing with his back to her, muttering something under his breath, holding a list of some sort. Okay, so give the plushie to Marinette. Check. Next, if she likes it, plan a date with candles under the moonlight. He took a second to look up at the sky, and Marinette could feel a blush warm her face. He continued, Then, tell Marinette she's not just a friend to me. I'm a genius! He thrust his list into the air in a victorious manner, waving it about. Marinette chuckled, crossing her arms, still holding Minnie Cat. Are you sure about that, kitty? A startled Cat Noir whipped around and smiled sheepishly. How much of that did you hear? She sauntered over to him. Enough. Oh, you see, He sputtered, seemingly at a loss for words. Marinette reached out a hand to stroke his cheek, leaving her hand to linger. His face felt hot despite the cold winter night. You're too adorable, Marinette said, inching closer to him. And so is this. I can't believe you made it for me. She turned the plushie over in her hand, tracing the stitches. Really? Well, I mean, it isn't perfect. There are loose strands, the eyes are a bit crooked, and... Marinette stopped him, pressing a finger to his lips. Nuh-uh, it's perfect. Thank you, Santa Cat. She winked at him, then without warning kissed his cheek, sending his head reeling. Does this mean that Marinette liked him too? He guessed it might be a good idea to ask, or maybe that would ruin the mood. His cheek burned infinitely hotter from her gentle touch. Marinette, I love you. I always knew you were more than a friend to me. He heard himself utter the words, but it didn't quite feel real. His mouth had said them before his brain could stop them from escaping. Now they were out in the open, fluttering around. So much for his list. He would have thought he imagined it, except Marinette's face looked impossibly pink. But her shocked expression shifted. She shook her head, laughing. I think you missed a step, Cat. But I love you too. Merry Christmas, Cat Noir. I don't have any mistletoe, but... Marinette tucked a strand of hair behind her ear nervously. Her bluebell eyes met Cat's. He felt a drum roll in his stomach. The anxiety of before their lips came together, and then electricity. They pulled away with only the moon for light. A smile crossed their faces as they huddled close together. Cat Noir draped his red coat over Marinette's bare shoulders. They sat closely for a long while, saying nothing, just enjoying each other's company. Marinette's head drooped onto her Santa Cat's shoulder as snow began to drift through the Parisian sky, shimmering against the moonlight. So, Cat Noir said, breaking the silence. About that date. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and leave a comment. It helps so much. If you don't know what to comment, say Santa Cat is coming to town. May your holidays be miraculous.